Hi friends, don't be surprised. This is the new lockdown look, lockdown के side effects. तो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ कि ऑलरेडी काफ़ी लोगों ने काफ़ी सवाल लिख दिए हैं। तो वीकली मीटिंग शुरू करने से पहले नियमों का एक बार फिर से मैं उल्लेख कर देता हूँ, फिर से एक बार नियम बता देता हूँ। कृपया अपना सवाल लिखने के बाद अपनी बारी का इंतज़ार करें। आपके सवाल का जवाब देने की भरपूर कोशिश। अगर बाय एनी चांस इस बार आपका जवाब नहीं मिल पाता है आपको, तो आप नेक्स्ट मीटिंग में ट्राई कर सकते हैं, या आप कमेंट सेक्शन में लिख के सवाल पूछ सकते हैं। इसके अलावा आप हमारे व्हाट्सएप नंबर, सहोदर व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9811850498 पर भी अपना सवाल लिखकर भेज सकते हैं। आपके सवाल का जवाब देने की पूरी कोशिश की जाएगी। तो आज की मीटिंग शुरू करते हैं। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज फ्रॉम मनोज कुमार. Manoj Kumar has asked me a question that 498A40634 someone sent by code to me and my parents, but not to my sister. But sister's name showing on e-code. So what should I assume that judge removed my sister's name? My wife, मेरी वाइफ 6 मंथ की बेटी को छोड़कर चली गई थी और 2 ईयर सेपरेशन को हो गए हैं. हम 1.5 ईयर से साथ रहे थे. मुझे कितने एलिमनी देनी पड़ सकती है? 32 के सैलरी और कुछ भी मेरे नाम से नहीं है. तो मनोज जी के 2 सवाल हैं. पहला सवाल ये है कि इनकी सिस्टर को अभी तक समनिंग नहीं हुई है, तो क्या ये एज्यूम करना चाहिए कि जज ने इनकी सिस्टर का नाम जो है वो चार्जशीट में से ड्रॉप कर दिया है? तो इसका जवाब ये है कि ऐसा कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है. हो सकता है कि समनिंग हुई हो, समन आप तक पहुँचे ना हो, आपकी सिस्टर तक पहुँचे ना हो अभी, और ये लॉकडाउन की स्थिति है, तो अभी कुछ चेक भी नहीं किया जा सकता. आप इंतज़ार करें. कोर्ट की तारीख पर जब आप जाएंगे तो पता चलेगा कि क्या आपके सिस्टर को इसमें समनिंग हुई है या नहीं हुई है. अगर आपकी सिस्टर को इसमें समनिंग हुई है तो आपको आपके सिस्टर को पेश होना पड़ेगा. अगर आपकी सिस्टर को समनिंग नहीं हुई है तो उसे पेश होने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है. दूसरी बात, आपने ये नहीं लिखा है कि ये केस कहाँ पर है. अगर ये लिखा होता तो बताने में थोड़ी ज़्यादा आसानी होती कि जज इस तरह से नाम ड्रॉप कर भी सकता है या नहीं. दूसरा सवाल ये है कि आपकी 6 महीने की बेटी है और 32,000 रुपये सैलरी है. 1.5 साल से आप 1.5 साल साथ रहे और 2 साल से बीवी अलग नहीं रह रही. इतने में ऐसे में कितनी एलिमनी आपको देनी पड़ सकती है? कोई फिक्स्ड रूल नहीं है कि कितनी एलिमनी आपको देनी पड़ सकती है, पर जो भी एलिमनी होगी आपकी इनकम के हिसाब से ही होगी. आपने ये भी नहीं बताया है कि बीवी काम करती है नहीं करती है, और बिटिया तो खैर अभी आपकी काफ़ी छोटी ही है, क्योंकि आप जैसे बता रहे हैं कि 6 महीने की ही है. तो उसके लिए तो एलिमनी या मेंटेनेंस ज़रूर आपको देनी ही पड़ेगी. बीवी की मेंटेनेंस देनी पड़ेगी या नहीं देनी पड़ेगी, इस बात पर भी डिपेंडेंट है कि वह काम करती है या नहीं करती है. तो इन चीज़ों का आपने जिक्र नहीं किया है, तो इसलिए मैं इन प्रश्नों के उत्तर नहीं दे पा रहा हूँ. Lakhveer Chand Sharma has a question. Sir, why filed 498 DV? I filed divorce under section 13. Both took years, and how we can stay calm? It looks like life going waste without happiness. Sir, is live-in relationship the best alternative? So Lakhveer Chand Sharma जी का सवाल है कि उनकी बीवी ने 498 और डीवी फाइल किया, इन्होंने डिवोर्स फाइल किया है. सारे केसों को ख़त्म होने में कई साल लगे हैं, और ऐसे में ये काम यानी शांत कैसे रहें? ऐसा लगता है इन्हें कि लाइफ जो है वेस्ट हो रही है बिना हैप्पीनेस के. तो क्या लिव इन रिलेशनशिप बेस्ट अल्टरनेटिव है? देखिए, लिव इन रिलेशनशिप बेस्ट अल्टरनेटिव है या नहीं है, ये आप पर डिपेंडेंट है. अगर आप लिव इन में रहना चाहते हैं, और अगर आपको कोई ऐसा साथी मिल गया है जो लिव इन में रहने को तैयार है, तो एडल्ट्री इज नो लॉन्गर अ क्राइम इन दिस कंट्री. आप रह सकते हैं. बहुत से लोगों को लगता है इसका केस पर कोई प्रभाव होगा. केस पर अनलेस आपने डिवोर्स ही मांग रखा है, या थोड़ा बहुत प्रभाव इसका एलिमनी पर हो सकता है या मेंटेनेंस पर हो सकता है. इसके अलावा केसेस पे 498 406 वाले मुकदमों पर का इस आपके किसी लिव इन में रहने से कोई प्रभाव पड़ने वाला है नहीं. और हम माने या ना माने, इस तरह के मुकदमों में जिस तरह के स्थितियां हमारे कोर्टों में चल रही हैं, केसों में लंबा लंबा समय लग रहा है, सालों साल लग रहे हैं, तो लिव इन बढ़ते ही जा रहे हैं। और बहुत से लिव इन, मैं पर्सनली ऐसे लोगों को जानता हूं जो लिव इन में रह रहे हैं, उनका तलाक अभी नहीं हुआ है और उनकी बीवी अभी भी तलाक फाइल नहीं कर रही है। तो इसलिए अगर आप चाहते हैं, अगर आपको कोई ऐसा साथी मिल गया है तो आप रहना चाहें तो आप रह सकते हैं। ये बेस्ट अल्टरनेटिव है या नहीं, ये इसका सवाल जो है, इसका जवाब जो है वो भविष्य के घर में ही छुपा है। लिव इन रिलेशनशिप्स भी फेल होती हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि लिव इन रिलेशनशिप्स फेल नहीं होती है। और अगर ऐसी रिलेशनशिप्स फेल होती हैं तो ऐसा भी पाया गया है कि उसमें भी रेप के एलिगेशंस वगैरह लग जाते हैं। मनदीप सिंह वधवा जी का सवाल है, मैं पढ़ता हूं पहले सवाल। मेरे डीवी केस में इंटरिम लगी हुई है जनवरी 2019 में, जो कि पेएबल है मई 2018 से, अकॉर्डिंग टू डिसाइडेड ऑर्डर। मेरी जनवरी 2019 में अपील कर दी थी, जो कि टिल डेट पेंडिंग है। मैं ऑनर ऑफ मेंटेनेंस दे रहा हूं, लेकिन आज की डेट में अबव 1 लाख आउटस्टैंडिंग हो गया है। मेरे केस में PW1 एविडेंस एंड क्रॉस चल रहा है। क्या वाइफ एग्जीक्यूशन डाल सकती है जबकि अपील पेंडिंग है? क्या डीवी केस में डिफेंडेंट का भी क्रॉस होता है? तीसरा सवाल है, क्या करना चाहिए कि अपील केस चलना शुरू हो? 1 साल से अबव हो गया है, अभी तक एक भी डेट पर सुनवाई नहीं हुई है। इसके अलावा भी कुछ सवाल हैं, तो मैं एक एक करके सवालों को लेता हूँ। फैक्चुअल मैट्रिक्स मेरे ख्याल से सबको समझ आ गई है। क्या वाइफ एग्जीक्यूशन डाल सकती है जबकि अपील पेंडिंग है? बिल्कुल डाल सकती है, पर इस समय अगर वो एग्जीक्यूशन डालेगी तो जो एग्जीक्यूशन है वो लास्ट 1 ईयर के लिए ही डलेगी, यानी पिछले 11 महीने के लिए ही डलेगी, पूरे अमाउंट के लिए नहीं डल सकती है। आपने जो पैसा दिया है वो आपके एरियर्स में एडजस्ट हो जाएगा। क्या डीवी केस में डिफेंडेंट का भी क्रॉस होता है? बिल्कुल हो सकता है, क्योंकि प्रोसीडिंग सिविल है, सिविल इन नेचर है। अगर आप अपना एविडेंस फाइल करते हैं तो आपका क्रॉस जरूर किया जाएगा। तीसरा सवाल है, क्या करना चाहिए कि अपील केस चलना शुरू हो? अगेन मनदीप सिंह जी, आपने ये नहीं बताया है कि ये केस कहाँ का है और क्यों सुनवाई नहीं हुई है, क्या वहाँ पे जज साहब हैं या नहीं है? क्योंकि डीवी की अपील सेशन में फाइल होती है, हाई कोर्ट में फाइल नहीं होती है। ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि, मैं ऐसा मानने को तैयार नहीं हूँ कि सेशन में एक साल में तारीखें ना पड़ रही हो, पर एक्सेप्शनल सर्कमस्टांसिस में किसी एक जगह पे, किसी 1 या 2 जिलों में ऐसा हो सकता है, अगर वहाँ पे जज ना हो तो मैं इस बात का जवाब नहीं दे पाऊंगा जब तक मुझे अधिक सूचना नहीं मिलेगी। आपका आगे सवाल है, डिवोर्स में सेक्शन 24 की आर्ग्यूमेंट है, क्या यहाँ भी वाइफ मेंटेनेंस ले सकती है जबकि डीवी एंड डिवोर्स पिटीशन कंटेंट सेम है और डीवी में मेंटेनेंस ऑलरेडी चल रही है? यह सवाल बार बार आ चुका है, क्या बीवी मल्टीपल मेंटेनेंस ले सकती है या नहीं ले सकती है? तो इसका जवाब यही है कि बिल्कुल ले सकती है, एज पर लेटेस्ट जजमेंट। आपको प्रयास करना चाहिए, आपको कोर्ट को अवगत कराना चाहिए, कोर्ट को वाइज कराना चाहिए, कोर्ट को इन्फॉर्म करना चाहिए कि एक मेंटेनेंस डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस केस में ऑलरेडी चल रही है। अगर आप कोर्ट को इन सब चीज़ों से अवगत कराते हैं, इन्फॉर्म करते हैं, तो भले ही वो कोर्ट ज़्यादा मेंटेनेंस बांध दे, पर कम से कम जो ऑलरेडी मेंटेनेंस लगी है उसको एडजस्ट करने का उसमें चांस रहता है। अगर ये कमी आपकी तरफ से ही रहती है कि आप नहीं बताते हैं कोर्ट को कि ऑलरेडी मेंटेनेंस चल रही है, उसका ऑर्डर जो है रिकॉर्ड पे नहीं लगाते हैं, और उसके बावजूद कोर्ट मेंटेनेंस बांध देता है, तो ऐसी स्थिति में आपको दोनों मेंटेनेंस भी पे करनी पड़ सकती है। अंकित शर्मा हैज अ क्वेश्चन। मनदीप सिंह वधवा जी के और भी सवाल है, मैं उनको भी ले ही लेता हूँ। 5वां सवाल उनका है, डीवी का मेन केस अगर खत्म हो जाएगा तो क्या अपील केस ऑटोमेटिकली खत्म हो जाएगा? नहीं, अपील केस अपनी मेरिट्स पे डिसाइड होगा और मेन केस अपनी मेरिट्स पे डिसाइड होगा। ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि अगर आपका मेन केस खत्म हो गया तो अपील केस जो है वो डिसमिस हो जाएगा। इसके अलावा एक सवाल ये है, डीवी में PW1 एविडेंस और क्रॉस के बाद और कौन कौन सी स्टेजेस होती हैं? अगर कोई और विटनेसेस हैं पेटिशनर के, तो उन सब का एग्जामिनेशन इन चीफ और क्रॉस होगा, और उसके बाद डिफेंडेंट को यानी रिस्पोंडेंट्स को अपने एविडेंस देने का मौका मिलेगा। फिर फाइनल स्टेज आर्ग्यूमेंट्स की है, आर्ग्यूमेंट्स के बाद डिसीजन। इतनी ही देखा जाए तो लिमिटेड स्टेजेस हैं, पर हर एक स्टेज पे मल्टीपल डेट्स लगती हैं। इस वजह से कोर्ट कचहरी में मुकदमे सालों साल चला करते हैं और काफ़ी समय तक मुकदमे चलते रहते हैं। अंकित शर्मा का सवाल मैं अब ले लेता हूं। अंकित शर्मा has a question. My in-laws gifted car in marriage. They made down payment 6 lakhs and rest I paid through finance. So they use it against me. My wife has done BTech and worked for 2 years before marriage. Now she is pursuing B.Ed. Now she is pursuing B.Ed. Her father paid the fees. Can she claim maintenance as my salary is 55K? So अंकित जी, आपके इन लॉज ने 6 लाख रुपया डाउन पेमेंट करी है शादी के समय, तो ये बिल्कुल डाउरी की डेफिनेशन में आता है, भले ही बाकी पेमेंट आप अपने फिनेंस के थ्रू कर रहे हैं। और रही बात कि आपकी बीवी ने बीटेक की है और वो इस समय बीएड कर रही है, आपकी सैलरी 55,000 रुपये के आसपास है, तो मेरा यही कहना है कि अगर आप ढंग से आर्ग्यू करेंगे, ये ऑलरेडी बीटेक है, इसे अगर मेंटेनेंस मिलेगा भी तो वो भी लिमिटेड टाइम का ही मिलना चाहिए। आपको आर्ग्यू करना चाहिए, या तो इसे मेंटेनेंस देना ही हो क्वालिफाइड होने पर, अगर मेंटेनेंस लग भी रहा है तो वो लिमिटेड समय का लगे, जिससे कि इसको यह हिदायत दी जाए, कोर्ट ये डायरेक्शन दे कि ये उस समय जो भी समय है 6 महीने 1 साल, इसमें ये लड़की जो है नौकरी ढूंढ ले, वेल क्वालिफाइड है। इस तरह से हमें आर्ग्यू करना चाहिए इस केस को, और बहुत हद तक मुझे उम्मीद है कि इसे मिनिमम मेंटेनेंस ही इस केस में मिलेगी। हालांकि अब आपके पहले सवाल का जवाब मैं फिर दे देता हूँ कि वो 6 लाख रुपए बिल्कुल डाउरी का पार्ट माना जाएगा, भले ही उन्होंने अपनी मर्जी से दिया हो, और ये स्त्री धन है, वापस दे होगा। Neeraj K has a question. Sir, is domestic relationship necessary for maintenance under DV Act? And can DV request if separation period is 1.5 years? So, first of all, DV cannot be requested even if the separation period is 1.5 years. There are now multiple judgments from various high courts as well as Supreme Court that there is no time limit for filing of domestic violence case. Coming back to your question, is domestic relationship necessary for maintenance under DV Act? Unless there was a domestic relationship, you cannot be a respondent in DV Act. So if there was no domestic relationship and you are not a husband also, then of course domestic and neither a live-in partner. And if you were a live-in partner or a husband, there has to be a domestic relationship. So considering this fact, domestic relationship is very much necessary for getting any kind of relief in Domestic Violence Act. So there is a question from person with the screen name Fight for Right, and his question is: I have filed a divorce case in Delhi, and later my wife filed DV and CRPC 125 in Faridabad, and she has asked for maintenance in 3 different cases, that is section 12, 125 and 24 and 26. I have a daughter, she is staying with her. I am paying my daughter's school fee and transferring rupees 5,000 per month to my wife's account for my daughter. I am staying in a rented accommodation with my mother. My mother gets family pension, approximately 12,000 per month, and also income from other sources. She is not financially dependent on me. Still, can I transfer rupees 12,000 per month to her account so that I can reduce my maintenance towards my wife? Court will consider this or not. So, Mr. Fight for Right, as your mother already has sufficient income, over and above, if you are transferring any income and your wife objects to it or asks to bring her financial records on court as court records, so you may lose this edge. However, if you want to show that you are responsible for your mother, you can try doing it, but solely on this ground maintenance to her would be denied or reduced, I am very doubtful. As you are already paying 5,000 rupees to your child as well as her school education, school fee, this fact should go in your favor, and court should look at it. Your bona fide is in front of the court, and court should look at it that you are a responsible father. Deepak Agarwal has a question. Generally, your suggestion is not to file RCR. What's the drawback of filing the RCR? People argue that if you have RCR decree in your favor, it will help you avoid maintenance. This is really adding confusion. So please help us through a competitive analysis, pro versus con, of filing RCR. Many thanks. Deepak, I already have article written on this aspect, and the article is very much available on my website. I'll show a video about it also, that why you should not file RCR. Though it is a fact that if there is a RCR decree in your favor, the maintenance cannot be granted in CRPC 125. But please understand, it is only after RCR decree is in your favor, maintenance cannot be granted in CRPC 125. She can claim maintenance uh, under section 24 as long as RCR is running, and under section 25 of Hindu Maintenance Act as per alimony after RCR case is over. So saying that you already have a RCR decree and she is not getting maintenance is not the right thing. You have a decree of RCR and she won't get maintenance under a particular section, that is CRPC 125 is the right statement. So considering all facts, that she can still claim maintenance under various other provisions even if you have a RCR decree, I say that it is a waste of a decree. Yamuna Pandey has a question. I hope I have answered this question. So for any other thing, you can go on my website and you can read the article, why not to file restitution of conjugal rights. Even if you Google it, this article comes in the top results. You read it, and if you have any other questions, I am ready to discuss with you at any time. You can write to me and we'll discuss it. Now, coming to questions from Mr. Yamuna Pandey, nature of complainant abusive language used in home matter non-cognizable of date X after 1 month FIR registered with 498 307 324 34 DP Act for incident X is registered. Can this be challenged that after legal advice fake FIR registered against all family members? X date complaint against me, only later on FIR is against all the family member with allegation of dowry demand and attempt to murder with a pillow pushed in her mouth and kill her. यमुना पांडे जी, मेरे को आपका सवाल समझ नहीं आया. ये जो डेट एक्स है, आप ये कह रहे हैं कि ये एनसीआर एफआईआर के बाद की है. अगर ऐसी कोई बात है तो ये तो आपके फेवर की चीज है. इसके लिए आपको क्वेश्चन में जाना चाहिए कि कभी भी घटना के बाद 1 महीने बाद कोई कंप्लेंट हुई हो, एफआईआर पहले हो गई हो, उसकी कंप्लेंट उसके लिए उसकी जो कंप्लेंट है वो बाद में हुई हो, ऐसा तो सुना हुआ सा नहीं लगता है. अगर मैं ठीक समझ रहा हूँ तो इसके लिए आपको क्वेश्चन के लिए जरूर जाना चाहिए. ये मेलाफाइड है प्रोसिक्यूशन की तरफ से, और मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि इसमें आपको जरूर हाई कोर्ट की तरफ से कुछ ना कुछ रियायत मिलेगी. Deepak Agarwal has another question. His question is, sir, our online bank statement without bank stamp is valid in court as private bank don't issue passbook. Each statement has a line, this is a system generated output and does not require signature. Deepak, if the cases are in Delhi or Mumbai or Chandigarh or like various places in Haryana, Punjab, I believe these kind of statements are valid and admissible statements. Courts do admit such statements. And most of the times they admit it without any arguments, or some places they have asked you to file a section 65B certificate in support of it. So, but I don't know at which place your case is. So in that particular place, what is the practice? Secondly, if any bank who does not issue passbook does give you a statement which is authenticated by the bank stamp from the branch, or any branch you can go and you can get this statement and you can submit it in the court. Now taking further questions. Further question is from Bharat, or Bharat is the name. Hi sir, I need suggestion regarding submitting vital evidences in DV court. These evidences are already submitted in Family Court CRPC 125 and HAMA 18 cases. DV status is affidavit of OP submitted, cross pending. Order against me to submit all my ITR in DV court. I appealed against it in session court, stating I cannot submit ITR since my IT account is hacked. My appeal is pending for disposal in session court. I submitted speedy trial application in DV court, stating case is to harass respondent. No order yet. Can I submit crucial evidence in DV section 28(2) asking court to dispose case or direct OP to come for cross? Bharat, if there is already an order against you, which is a subject matter of appeal, and you have not mentioned whether there is a stay granted or not. So, if there is no stay granted, the court is within its right to presume it against you. Now, asking the OP to come for cross, you can always put an application. Right now, it is a COVID statement, COVID times, so most of the cases are closed. Let's see how things go. You can always give an application that the cross should not stop. These piece of evidence, which is subject matter of all this controversy, can be utilized at a later stage after her evidence is complete, because still the case is there is a long way for the case to go. I am taking a question from Vishal Uppal. Vishal Uppal has a question. Wife is MA B.Ed but never worked. Wife is getting 25,000 interim maintenance from me in 125 case. Can HC ask her to find a job and reduce her maintenance? My income is 1 lakh per month. My parents are above 74 years with no income. Now, Vishal, this aspect should have been best argued in the trial court. However, if you have already gone in for appeal, you can argue this or give these arguments in High Court also. And if High Courts accept such arguments, then this will become a precedent in your particular state. However, I have seen that certain judges and justice in High Court have asked the girl to work. However, they have not put it in the writing in the judgment, except there was a judgment from Justice Shiv Narayan Dhingra, wherein the Justice Dhingra asked the girl to work for free at a particular health center because she was well educated and presumably a doctor or a nurse or a qualified nurse. So Justice Dhingra asked her to work in a particular health center for free, and in lieu of that, she would get maintenance from the husband. So you should argue all these points in the High Court. Unless we argue these points in the High Court, somebody puts these points in the High Court, they are not going to give any orders which can be utilized by a lot of men in their favor in that particular state. And like we have seen, all the precedents are made when somebody has gone to High Court, have argued, and High Court has given these judgments which are in our favor and which are being utilized by various people, both to get maintenance as well as to deny maintenance. Now, Shakti Sinha Jhala has a question. DV section 26(1) allows to submit DV in any ongoing case with civil, criminal, and family court. Can same section be used to file counter DV by female respondent of original DV filed by wife? I have not seen anywhere that Counter Domestic Violence Act is possible, because when the act was designed, it was that only men could have been respondent. Now section 2Q has been amended or read down by the Honorable Apex Court. Of course, now female can be respondent in this case. Now coming to, can that particular female file a counter domestic violence case? I don't think domestic violence has any such provision, so this cannot be done. Though an independent domestic violence case can be filed by a respondent, making this particular woman, that is your wife, as a respondent. So your wife can be a respondent in a DV case, definitely, if I were to put it bluntly, but not in the same case where she has filed DV. Now, I am taking a question from Harmeet Narula. Harmeet Narula has a question. I earn 1 lakh monthly plus 30K as incentive. She earned 45K as a B.Ed teacher in school. 47-day marriage, I say says I have an affair, now DV and asking for maintenance of 50K per month. I have monthly installments of 75K including rent, personal loan, car loan and home loan. Further monthly expenses and parents dependent on me. Is this enough to prove I cannot pay anything to her or anything else I need to show, prove or shall take care of? Please suggest what should be strategy to ensure zero payment. Harmeet, your question is very elaborate. You are earning around 1.3 lakh rupees. However, she is earning 45,000 rupees. Your parents, that is two people, are dependent upon you. So basically, you have to maintain three people other than you. One would be your wife and two other people. So considering taking these facts in account, the court should not grant any maintenance to this particular woman. Moreover, the duration of marriage is very uh, slim. That is only 47 days. Very small marriage where you stay together. So if you argue correctly, I am very sure that there won't be any maintenance which will be granted to this particular woman. And all the best. You should argue as I told you. Show that your parents are dependent upon you and they are your responsibility as well. And the court would understand this, and I'm sure that there won't be any maintenance to her. I'm taking a question from Sameer Sachdeva. He has written, sir, previous session questions, section 125 interim maintenance order passed in October 24, 25K per month, given only 50K. What if I delay this payment, any penalty or action against me? I believe it is October 2019 which you are saying, because October 2020 is yet to come. Sameer, I have maintained that we are in a situation, or the current situation is something which is like once in a lifetime situation. If there is any delay in payment during this pandemic, the courts are not going to take any coercive action immediately as and when the courts open. However, this has to be understood that if you are a salaried person and there is no salary deductions or salary cut which is applicable to you due to this pandemic, the court will insist that you make the balance payment as soon as possible. However, if you are self-employed or if your emoluments or income is drastically reduced during pandemic, you should argue on these points and the court will definitely understand this point. Please understand, you are not going to be the only person whose income is being affected, and this is something which is publicly known fact, that due to this pandemic a lot of people have lost their livelihood, income and jobs. So considering your own situation, you can decide how you want to play around it. Yamuna Pandey has another question. Why filed HMA 13? Husband is not able to pay alimony. Why would Yamuna, alimony is yet to be decided in your case, and if alimony is ordered, she can execute the order using execution petition. And if you are not able to pay the alimony as ordered by the court, then of course the court can imprison you maximum up to 60 days, because it is going to be a civil decree. I am taking a question from Vishwadeep Singh. Vishwadeep has a question. I need CDR tower location detail of for my number. Very crucial for 498A and 307 case and DV12. She asked for 5 lakh compensation. Approached IO SP office for CDR. No one responding. What should I do? Vishwadeep Singh, if you are accused and you think that these CDRs can help you, then you can approach the trial court in which the case is going to run. You can request that these CDRs should be preserved by the service provider. Please understand, even for your own number, you cannot have call detail records, complete call detail records with location and all. That is illegal. It is termed illegal by various judicial as well as government executive orders. Possession itself is a crime. So please don't fall in trap of getting it through a detective or something like that. Even if you have done so, keep it to yourself. Don't use that. and you can approach trial court for preservation and production of these records as and when required. There is a question from screen name Seeker24. No wife, kids, BTech, MBA, 4-year live together overseas. After that, 3 years separated. Wife filed 498 in divorce in Hyderabad, asking 2.45 crores alimony. She not working. How much alimony is reasonable? See, Seeker, you have not mentioned your income, so I am not able to give any figure. 2.5 crore looks a very big amount, but then we have already seen that Jeff Bezos has paid in billions, and it is rumored that Hrithik Roshan paid 380 crore or 400 crores as alimony. So I won't go on any figure. Any figure is possible, and any figure can be high or low depending upon the circumstances. Unless we know your income, what are the charges, and how much you are earning, or how much assets you have, it cannot be said how much alimony is proper or reasonable. Yamuna, I requested that you please, I understand that you have a lot of queries and they are under different sections, but it would be great that if you can write queries in one go and I can answer it. You have another query. It is, if interim order under DV is passed and if execution is not filed, then should I pay interim and make her entry in the order sheet? If there is a court order and you are not paying, you are inviting execution. So as long as you are paying interim maintenance, only till then execution is not filed. The moment you will stop paying interim maintenance, within a month, 2 months, 3 months, her lawyer will make her wise enough to file execution, and then you will have to pay for the areas as well. Please understand, the time you spend in fighting execution, the interim maintenance keeps on running. I've rarely seen final maintenances being ordered. Most of the fight is around interim maintenance. So if you are delaying the paying the running of the trial, and you will keep on paying interim maintenance. प्रदीप सचदेवा जी का सवाल है, सर 498 में चार्जशीट करने के लिए कितनी टाइम लिमिट होती है? प्रदीप जी, वैसे तो कोई टाइम लिमिट फिक्स नहीं है चार्जशीट के लिए. बहुत से क्राइम्स में कई साल तक चार्जशीट फाइल नहीं होती है, पर जनरली जो दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने टाइम लिमिट 3 साल की सेट की है 498 के केसेस में, इसके बाद कोर्ट जो है वो उसको क्वैश करने लगा है. पर मुझे नहीं पता आपका केस कहाँ है. हरियाणा, पंजाब में मैंने देखा है बेल होने के, चाहे वो एंटिसिपेटरी हो या रेगुलर हो, 3 से 6 महीने के अंदर चार्जशीट फाइल हो जाती है. यूपी के अंदर भी मैंने यही ट्रेंड देखा है. मुझे आपके स्टेट का नहीं पता, तो इसके बारे में मैं ज्यादा कुछ कह नहीं पाऊंगा. A person with the screen name Rocky1 has a question. Is respondent given chance to present proof and witness in 498 dowry cases? Definitely, Rocky1, respondent that is accused, because it is a criminal trial. The respondent, when you say respondent, it is accused, and accused is definitely given chance to lead evidence if they so desire. However, in criminal cases, normally the accused side does not produce any evidences, because if by any chance any witness gives a statement which goes against you, you can be convicted solely based on those statements. However, if you have any valid proofs, you can file it in the court, and you yourself can stand as a defense witness in your case. To do so, whether to do it or not to do it, is a question your lawyer can answer. Atul Srivastava has a question. Sir, my wife has filed execution for 14 months. What should I do? Atul, has she filed execution for 14 months? That is not from, you are counting it from the date of order, or you are counting from, if the date of order was, say, January 2020 and the maintenance was ordered from February 2019, that is 14 months, then this execution is maintainable. However, if the order was of, say, December 2018, and she has filed in February 2014 for claiming for 14 months, then of course you are only liable to pay for one year and not beyond that. That is 12 months. Pradeep Sachdeva had another question which he has deleted. I am taking another question by a person, S. Roy. S. Roy has a question. I have found some SMS conversation between my wife and her paramour. After quarrel, she left my home and stayed at maternal home since 3 months. But now she states that all conversation was just, I'm sorry, just jokes between two friends, and now she wants to come back with the condition that I have to leave my parents. I don't want that. What should I do? So, Mr. Roy, if you have already decided that you don't want your wife back, and the condition which she is putting is not agreeable to you, that is, you don't want to leave your parents, you should state so, and you should try to end this matter amicably without going to court. That will be the best thing. And you are wise enough and you are intelligent enough to know that the conversation which they were having, was it jokes or was it something beyond that. So based on these things you can decide what you want to do and what actions you should take in this particular case. I am taking a question from Vaibhav Takalkar. His question is, म्यूचुअल डिवोर्स में 18 मंथ्स कंप्लीट करना कंपलसरी होता है क्या? सेपरेशन for 1 year and then 6 months granted by court, or can it be done just 6 months after filing mutually? Vaibhav ji, the question is not कि 18 मंथ कंप्लीट किस चीज से लेकर, सेपरेशन से 1 साल के बाद ही आप म्यूचुअल कंसेंट फाइल कर सकते हैं, उसके बाद 6 महीने का मैंडेटरी वेटिंग पीरियड है। तो जो डेट ऑफ सेपरेशन से डिवोर्स के बीच का समय है वो 18 महीने जरूर लगेगा। जबकि अगर आपने 18 महीने के बाद ही डिवोर्स केस फाइल किया है म्यूचुअल कंसेंट, तो आप 6 महीने का वेवर मांग सकते हैं। मेरे ख्याल से यही आपका सवाल था। अगर इसके अलावा आप कुछ पूछना चाहते थे तो आप इस प्रश्न को दोबारा पूछ सकते हैं। मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि इसको आपको और एक्सप्लेनेटरी जवाब दूं। देयर इज अ पर्सन बाय द स्क्रीन नेम फाइटिंग फॉर डिग्निटी. His question is elaborate, so I am first reading out the questions. Interim maintenance in DV Act is ordered 35K per month plus residence plus educational expenses of 2 kids plus cleaning for wife in basement of house. Meanwhile, 125 CRPC dismissed on unclean hands ground with an respondent shall continue paying educational expenses directly. I am paying 35K as interim maintenance per month, and obviously all expenses of kids despite appeal of interim maintenance in DV Act is pending in High Court. High Court is closed now due to lockdown. I am confused between complying to the order to abide law or fight it by not paying and wait for the courts to open so that I can attempt to stay order. What is your opinion? Sir, my opinion is very almost same which you are thinking. If I were in your position, family court being a higher court, I'll say that that judgment is enforceable judgment unless it is clarified by the High Court that I have to pay maintenance as per DV Court. Definitely I'll try to take advantage of this pandemic also. The kind of maintenance which has been granted to her, to me, looks excessive, and I will try to delay the payment and wait for the clarification from High Court. I have a question from Amit Gar. She by surprise attached birth certificate of son from previous marriage showing me as biological father. Also files delay birth order of SDM, New North Delhi. Case in Delhi, no result in RTI. And first appeal to obtain documents submitted to SDM. Did not get it. By a bribing official gets it. File 340 and son is not mine. No, I have given consent. I have his previous birth certificate. Reply yet to file. How should I fight case for minimum and zero maintenance? No dowry taken. Bills are forced. What should I do? How should I fight? So अमित, अगर मैं आपके सवाल को समझ पाया हूं तो आपका सवाल ये है कि आपकी बीवी ने अपने जो प्रीवियस शादी से जो बच्चा था उसका एक फोर्स बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट यूज किया है आपके अगेंस्ट कोर्ट प्रोसीडिंग में और आपको बायोलॉजिकल फादर बताया है। आपके पास ये बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट आ गया है जो ओरिजिनल था और अब आपने 340 फाइल कर दिया है। बीवी के अगेंस्ट। इसके अलावा भी उसने कुछ फोर्स बिल इत्यादि प्रयोग किए हैं। और आपको क्या करना चाहिए? मेरे हिसाब से आपको 340 को प्रेस करना चाहिए। सबसे पहले तो बीवी और उसके बच्चे की, इस बच्चे की, इस पर्टिकुलर बच्चे की मेंटेनेंस आपको देने की कोई लायबिलिटी नहीं होनी चाहिए। दैट इज द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग जो इस केस में से निकल के आना चाहिए। दूसरी बात, इस औरत को सजा मिलनी चाहिए जो उसने फोर्ज्ड और फैब्रिकेटेड डॉक्यूमेंट यूज किया है आपके अगेंस्ट। इसके लिए आपको जरूर कंटेस्ट करना चाहिए, फाइट करना चाहिए कोर्ट के ऊपर। हर तरह से आपको प्रयास करना चाहिए कि कोर्ट उसको कुछ ना कुछ सजा जरूर दे, बाइंड करे उसको ट्रायल स्टैंड करने के लिए, या 344 में खुद ही कुछ ना कुछ सजा उसके अंदर इसे दे। Neeraj K has a question. Sir, in 406, who has burden of proof? Neeraj, 406 IPC, the burden of proof is on the person who alleges that his property has been utilized by you, has been was given, who was the actual owner of the property, has to prove this case. Question from Gulshan Sagar. Married in February 2019, wife left on April 3rd after hitting mom. After 1 month, police complaint made by mom and MLC done. Mom DV is filed now with 498A, 125 is filed against me. How not to pay? She is a graduate, I am a 10th pass and I am not working for last 1 year. So, Gulshan, your question is that your wife had hit your mother, for which she has an MLC and she has filed a DV, whereas your wife has now filed for 98 and maintenance case. You want to avoid paying maintenance, whereas you state that you are not earning for last 1 year, but you have not written any reason why you are not earning. So unless you will have to explain it to court why you are not earning, you are a able-bodied person. She is a graduate only. She is not even professionally qualified. I don't know if she has ever worked prior to this filing of maintenance or not. If she has never worked, then the court will settle you with the maintenance in accordance to Minimum Wages Act, and you will have to pay that much amount. However, if she was working or DV against her is proved, then of course you can see some relief is given to you by the courts. Anurag Goyal has a question. In UP 498 case, should bail be applied even during court mediation? Possibly it will fail in next meet. My lawyer is saying High Court stay should be done. Is it AB or High Court stay, which is better? Anurag, in UP now anticipatory bail have started. The provision of anticipatory bail is now applicable, so anticipatory bails are being granted by the courts. The lawyer is suggesting High Court stay. I am not sure why he is saying so. I would, in any case, in UP for plain vanilla 498A, that is where no 307 or no 377 allegations are put, I'll definitely take my chance and go in for anticipatory bail at the session court level first. And thereafter, if the bail is dismissed, I'll go to High Court to obtain either stay or anticipatory bail from the higher court. So this is something which I feel is the right way. However, I don't know what reasoning your lawyer is giving you. So if you are satisfied with that reasoning, it is well and good. If you are not satisfied, then of course my suggestion would be that we should try for anticipatory bail in the trial court first. Rocky one has a question. I think it is a subsequent question. If husband was living separate and stayed for 4 or 5 days with parents after marriage, can parents be part of DV shared household for these few days? No, by no stretch of imagination, these parents can be made part of Domestic Violence Act, because merely staying for 4 or 5 days does not create a domestic relationship. By that stretch of imagination, if you have gone to your uncle's house for 4 or 5 days, even that would be domestic relationship. You have stayed with your friend while visiting Bangalore, Bombay, anywhere, even that will be a domestic relationship. So no, by no stretch of imagination, 4 or 5 days can be any domestic relationship. You should go for either quashing or discharge of your parents from the trial court. You can also try getting these names deleted from the array of parties. सुमित प्रताप सिंह जी का सवाल है, क्या हम पेरेंट्स को एक्सपेंसेस पे कर सकते हैं जिस केस में पेरेंट्स ने मुझे बेदखल कर दिया है, और इस केस में पेरेंट्स के एक्सपेंसेस का 125 में बेनिफिट मिलेगा? सुमित जी, अगर आपके पेरेंट्स ने आपको बेदखल कर दिया है और आप बिना किसी कोर्ट ऑर्डर के ही उन्हें मेंटेन पे कर रहे हैं, तो ऑफ कोर्स कोर्ट ये मानेगा कि ये जो बेदखली है ये कनाइवेंस है, ये आप दोनों की मिली भगत है, और इस वजह से आपको कोई बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेगा, ना तो बेदखली का वैसे भी मैंने आज तक कभी किसी को बेनिफिट मिलते हुए देखा नहीं है। मुझे नहीं पता ये बेदखली क्या होती है, बल्कि ये आपके लिए समस्याएं ज़्यादा पैदा करती है। भगवान ना करे आपके पेरेंट्स की उम्र लंबी हो, पर भगवान ना करे अगर आपके पेरेंट्स को कुछ हो जाता है, जो बेदखली का डॉक्यूमेंट जो है ये आपके सक्सेशन में बहुत ज़्यादा रोड़े अटका सकता है। फिर भी लोग करते हैं, हालांकि दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट और पंजाब और हरियाणा हाई कोर्ट दोनों ही बेदखली नाम की चीज़ को नहीं मानते। दोनों ने बड़ी हैवी कॉस्ट इम्पोज किए हैं इस तरह की चीज़ों पर पेटिशनर्स के अगेंस्ट। Amit Garg has a question. I have a proof from SDM that her income is 96,000. I am sorry, I cannot make out. You had a previous question. I am unable to look at it. Please clarify what is the question once again, and I'll try to answer. I am sorry, I am not able to look back for your previous questions. I have lost track of because of many people. I am very sorry for that, but I have lost track of what was your actual query. Kumar Reddy has a question. I had provided wife with a flat in Bangalore and she left to live in Chennai with her parents. Do I still need to pay for maintaining for that flat? I live in Mumbai. She has been working as software engineer. Kumar, if she has left for Chennai and she is no longer staying in Bangalore, there is no point maintaining the house in Bangalore. You can always vacate that house and give it back to the owner. And we'll see when she asks for maintenance or any right of residence, we will see to it at that point of time whether we have to pay any maintenance or rentals to her if the court so orders. सुमित प्रताप सिंह जी का सवाल है, 125 केस में सैलरी स्लिप शो करना जरूरी है या सिर्फ बैंक स्टेटमेंट सफिशिएंट है? सुमित प्रताप सिंह जी, ये इस बात पे निर्भर करता है कि कोर्ट ने आपको क्या ऑर्डर किया है। अगर कोर्ट ने ऑर्डर किया है कि आपको सैलरी स्लिप दिखाना है तो आपको दिखाना ही पड़ेगा। रही इसके अलावा मैं फिर से एक बात रिट्रेट कर देता हूँ कि 3 स्टेट्स और 1 यूनियन टेरिटरी में, चंडीगढ़, हरियाणा, पंजाब और दिल्ली के अंदर इनकम एफिडेविट फाइल करना दोनों पार्टीज का जरूरी है। दोनों पार्टीज को अपनी इनकम, एसेट्स और लायबिलिटीज का एक एफिडेविट फाइल करना होता है। उसमें 3 साल की आपको सैलरी सर्टिफिकेट, बैंक स्टेटमेंट, ITR इत्यादि लगानी होती है। अब ये रूल्स हाई कोर्ट के द्वारा बनाए गए हैं, आप चाहें या ना चाहें, जब तक इस पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट या वही हाई कोर्ट कोई चेंज नहीं कर देता तब तक ये आपके ऊपर मान्य रहेंगे, आपको यह चीजें देनी पड़ेंगी। तुलसीदास खान जिनका स्क्रीन नेम है, उनका सवाल है, what kind of RTI should we file for domestic incident report as police have never visited our home for investigation? So Tulsidas Khan, I don't think that any number of RTIs on this particular aspect is going to help your cause, because it is not incumbent on the police officer who is preparing the domestic incident report to visit your house for investigation. The word in the act is may. The word is not shall. So it is at the discretion of the investigating officer or the protection officer whether he or she wants to visit your house or does not want to visit your house. That is all. And on this particular ground, I doubt that any number of RT applications is going to help your cause. There is a question by the persons having a screen name India My Love. Sir, can we use the section 23 of Indian Constitution, that is Article 20 and subsection 3 of Indian Constitution, to safeguard against forceful submission of income document? Case is in 125 in West Bengal. So India My Love, even Supreme Court is seized with the matter and it had appointed two amicus curiae to suggest the affidavits which both parties should file in maintenance cases. Though it has not come out with any guidelines on that, I had written to those amicus curiae. I don't know how many of you have written to these people. So now one thing we have to see that in even the Indian Evidence Act says that a person who has uh, the right over a particular document has to produce that document as and when required. So if custody, only you will be asked to present it in the court. Nobody else can be asked to. I'm sorry, there was a blip. So if you have the salary certificate is your, only you can be asked to produce it in the court. Rahul D has a question: why file DV plus divorce? Both petitions same in same court, both cases. Why filed interim maintenance stage passed? Sorry. Interim maintenance stage passed and she got maintenance for child. After that, both parties filed multiple applications like contempt review, distress warrant, discharge, document protection, etc. But judge not passing order on any of the application, case not moving forward, and court just giving long dates. My question: should I just ignore about other application, move to evidence stage, or and start as cross? What can be done to convince to judge to pass orders on these applications? 3. Can she speedy trial request be made in the same court? So Rahul, first of all, speedy trial request can be made in the same court. Yes, it can be made. Whether the court grants it or not is a different aspect altogether, in which I am not going to delve. Now, if there are multiple applications and that has delayed the trial, if that is the case, you should withdraw all the unnecessary applications, number one, and you should concede to all the unnecessary applications, number two, and then see whether the matter can be expedited to evidence stage or not. If no maintenance is granted to wife, then I doubt even in the final stage she will be granted. No interim maintenance is granted to the wife at this stage. I doubt that any final maintenance will be granted to the wife. I believe that you should take the case to logical conclusion as soon as possible by conceding to unnecessary application and withdrawing unnecessary applications. I have a question. I have to go back. It's a question from अभय कुमार जी का सवाल है, जो जेवर हमने सुहाग के वक्त बाराती के बीच बहू को दिया था और बाद में मेरे रिश्तेदार पड़ोसी दोस्त लोग, क्या वह स्त्री धन है, उस पर बहू का ही हक है? जी अभय कुमार जी, जो जेवर आपने आपके रिश्तेदार पड़ोसी दोस्त लोगों ने आपकी बहू को दिया था, आपकी बीवी को दिया था, आपकी बहू को दिया था, उस पर बहू का ही हक है और वो स्त्री धन है। आप उससे यह जेवर वापस नहीं ले सकते अनलेस आप एक म्यूचुअल एग्रीमेंट पे पहुंच रहे हो जिसमें वो ये जेवर वापस करने को तैयार हो। कानूनी रूप से, लीगली, मोरली, हिंदू धर्म के हिसाब से भी यह स्त्री धन है और इस पर उस औरत का ही अधिकार है। There is a question from a person having screen name X. I lost my business operation in October 2019 due to fire incident. Wife a government employee and I have already filed asking maintenance from her. How likely is the chances of getting 25% of her salary? First of all, I am very sorry for your loss. However, as you have already lost your business, there is a chance that you will get maintenance from your wife if your losses are too heavy and you are not able to restart your business. However, when you are asking about a chance of getting 25% of her salary or any percentage of her salary, I think this question is very speculative in nature, and we should not base or make any assumptions on what we will get in court. We should argue with all force to get maximum maintenance as the circumstances you have suggested. However, if you can restart your business, and it is an advice only, it is not a legal advice, it is a pure friendly advice. If you can restart your own business, I'll suggest that you restart your own business, earn, and don't be dependent upon your wife. This is same thing which we tell to the girls also, that they should not be dependent on the man. and the same advice I'll give it to you back. If you can earn yourself and don't seek maintenance from the wife in these circumstances. Vivek Sharma has a question for how far back one can have call records available from service providers. Vivek ji, in normal circumstances, the service providers are mandated to maintain records, call detail records of 1 year minimum. There are service providers which are maintaining records even beyond the stipulated period, but that is an exception and that is not a rule. So when you are saying for sure it is 1 month, 1 year, and otherwise in as you may have heard in Sheena Bora case, I don't know whether the records were preserved at that time. They have got call records dating back up to 2013 also. पुष्पा बबली जी का सवाल लेता हूं मैं। उनका सवाल है, लोअर कोर्ट से एक एसएमएस आने के बाद पता चला कि बहू ने 8 महीने पहले 498 और डीपी एक्ट 3-4 का केस दर्ज किया हुआ है। केस वहां के डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में दाखिल हुआ है जहां शादी हुई थी, जबकि बहू शादी से पहले और उसके बाद भी लगातार गुड़गांव में जॉब कर रही है और दिल्ली में हस्बैंड के साथ, घर वालों के साथ थाने में 14 महीने पहले हमें गिरफ्तार करने का बहुत प्रयास किया, लेकिन थाने ने हमें सिर्फ एक दिन बुलाकर तहकीकात की। उन्हें फाल्स लगा और उन्होंने हमें दोबारा नहीं बुलाया। क्या इन दोनों पॉइंट फाइल केस और ड्यूटी प्लेस के जुरिस्डिक्शन पर केस नहीं करने के नाम पर हाई कोर्ट उस केस को क्वैश कराया जा सकता है? यदि हाँ तो बाद में फिर 0 से अगेन एनसीआर के बाद वह लोअर कोर्ट में जा सकती है। पुष्पा बबली जी, आपके जो फैक्ट्स हैं कि लड़की पहले भी गुड़गांव में रह रही थी, अब भी गुड़गांव रह रही है और उसने अपने होम टाउन यानी जहाँ पे उसके माँ बाप रहते हैं वहां पर एक 498 का मुकदमा दर्ज करा दिया है, तो बिल्कुल ये सफिशिएंट ग्राउंड है। इस ग्राउंड को लेकर, जुरिस्डिक्शन को लेकर आपको क्वेश्चन के लिए जाना चाहिए। इसके अलावा भी क्योंकि उसकी एक कंप्लेंट पहले भी पुलिस द्वारा ऑलमोस्ट ऐसा हम मान, हालांकि हाईकोर्ट इस केस को गुड़गांव या दिल्ली ट्रांसफर भी कर सकता है, जिस सूरत में आपको ये केस लड़ना पड़ेगा, पर फिर भी ये कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है। अगर फिर भी एफआईआर क्वैश होती है तो आपको एफआईआर क्वैश कराने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए। समय खत्म हो रहा है तो मैं जल्दी से एक सवाल और ले लेता हूँ। Ankit Mongia has a question. Sir, can I file a divorce case in Delhi if my wife has already filed a divorce case in her hometown, Maharashtra? Now, if you file a case in Delhi now, stating that you are already aware that there is a case filed in Maharashtra, then the court will not take your application and rather ask you to go to Maharashtra to file that case. If you hide that fact that there is already a case running in Maharashtra, this lady can go to Supreme Court and get the case transferred. So I don't think that it makes any sense, Ankit, to file a case in Delhi any longer. You should file, if you have to file a case, you can file a counter divorce case in the same court where she has already filed a case in Maharashtra. So friends, we are almost at the end of 1 hour stipulated time, which is there for this meeting. I thank you all for coming to these meetings. I hope you are getting some benefit out of these meetings, and I am very thankful for all the kind messages which you have been sending me. If you want to join some other WhatsApp groups, you can send a subscribe message to 9811850498. Those questions which I could not answer, please you can ask the question in comment section. I'll try to answer these questions. You can also reach to me through my website, and you can ask questions on my email also. I'll try to answer all those questions as soon as possible. Thanks for being here. I enjoyed being here as well. Thank you very much. We'll have a session tomorrow at the same time, that is 5 p.m. Please, you can be there. Thank you very much.